1 Kings Chapter 3. And Solomon allied himself by marriage with Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and he took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her to the city of David until he completed the building of his house and the house of Jehovah and the wall of Jerusalem all around. The people however were sacrificing in the high places, for there had still not been built a house for the name of Jehovah up to those days. And Solomon loved Jehovah, walking in the statutes of David his father, however he sacrificed and burned incense in the high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer on that altar. In Gibeon Jehovah appeared to Solomon in a dream at night, and God said, "Ask what I should give you." And Solomon said, "You have shown great loving kindness to your servant David my father, because he walked before you in truth and righteousness and in uprightness of heart with you, and you have kept for him this great loving kindness and have given him a son to sit upon his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Jehovah my God, you have made your servant king in the place of David my father, though I am a little child, I do not know how to go out or come in. And your servant is in the midst of your people, whom you have chosen, a vast people that cannot be numbered or counted for multitude. Give therefore to your servant an understanding heart to judge your people and to discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge this great people of yours?" And this word seemed good in the sight of the Lord, that Solomon had asked for this matter. And God said to him, "Because you have asked for this matter and have not asked for long life for yourself and have not asked for riches for yourself and have not asked for the life of your enemies, but have asked for discernment for yourself to understand justice, I now do according to your words. I now give you a heart of wisdom and understanding, so that there has been no one like you before you, nor will one rise up after you like you. And I also give you that for which you did not ask, both riches and glory, so that there will be no one among kings like you all your days. And if you walk in my ways, keeping my statutes and my commandments, as David your father walked, I will extend your days." Then Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he went to Jerusalem and stood before the ark of the covenant of Jehovah, and he offered up burnt offerings and offered peace offerings and made a feast for all his servants. At that time 2 harlots came to the king and stood before him. And the one woman said, "O, my lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I gave birth while she was in the house. And on the 3rd day after I gave birth, this woman also gave birth. And we were together, there was no stranger with us in the house, only we 2 were in the house. And this woman's son died during the night, because she lay on him. So she rose up in the middle of the night and took my son from beside me while your female servant was sleeping and laid him in her bosom, and her dead son she laid in my bosom. Then when I rose up in the morning to nurse my son, there he was, dead. But when I examined him in the morning, that was not my son whom I had given birth to." And the other woman said, "No. The live one is my son, and the dead one is your son." And the first said, "No. The dead one is your son, and the live one is my son." And they went on arguing like this before the king. Then the king said, "This one says, 'This is my son,' the live one, and the dead one is your son, and that one says, 'No. The dead one is your son, and the live one is my son.' And the king said, 'Get me a sword.' And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, 'Divide the live child between the 2, and give half to one and half to the other.' And the woman whose son was the live one said to the king, for her compassions for her son burned within, 'O, my lord, give the live child to her, and do not by any means kill him.' But the other said, 'He shall neither be mine nor yours, divide him.' And the king answered and said, 'Give her the live child, and do not by any means kill him, she is his mother.' And all Israel heard of the judgment that the king had exercised, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was within him to execute justice. 1 Kings Chapter 4. Now King Solomon was king over all Israel. And these were the officials with him, Azariah the son of Zadok, the priest. Elihoreph and Ahijah, the sons of Shisha, scribes, Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud, the recorder. And Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the army, and Zadok and Abiathar were high priests. And Azariah the son of Nathan was over the superintendents, and Zabud the son of Nathan was the principal officer, the king's friend. And Ahishar was over the household, and Adoniram the son of Abda was over the forced labor. And Solomon had 12 superintendents over all Israel, who provided food for the king and his house. Each month of the year one had to provide food. And these are their names: Ben-Hur, in the hill country of Ephraim; Ben-Deker, in Makaz, and in Shalbim and Beth-Shemesh and Elon-Beth-Hanan; Ben-Hezd, in Arabath, to him pertained Soko and all the land of Hepher; Ben-Abinadab, in all the highland of Dor, he had Taphath the daughter of Solomon as his wife; Bana the son of Ahilud, in Tanakh and Megiddo and all Beth-Shean, which is beside Zarethan, beneath Jezreel, from Beth-Shean to Abel-Meholah, as far as beyond Jokmeam; Ben-Geber, in Ramoth-Gilead, to him pertained the villages of Jair the son of Manasseh, which are in Gilead, and to him pertained the region of Argob, which is in Bashan, 60 great cities with walls and bronze bars; Ahinadab the son of Iddo, in Mahanaim; Ahimaaz, in Naphtali, he also took Basemath the daughter of Solomon as his wife; Bana the son of Hushai, in Asher and Bealoth; Jehoshaphat the son of Paruah, in Issachar; Shimei the son of Elah, in Benjamin; Geber the son of Uri, in the land of Gilead, the land of Sihon the king of the Amorites and Er the king of Bashan, and there was only one superintendent in that land. Judah and Israel were as numerous as the sand that is by the sea in multitude, eating and drinking and rejoicing. And Solomon ruled over all the kingdoms from the river to the land of the Philistines and unto the border of Egypt. They brought tribute and served Solomon all the days of his life. And Solomon's provisions for one day were 30 cors of fine flour and 60 cors of meal, 10 fattened oxen and 20 pastured oxen and 100 sheep, besides deer and gazelles and roebucks and fattened fowl. For he had dominion over all the area west of the river, from Tiphsah to Gaza, over all the kings west of the river, and he had peace on all sides around him. And Judah and Israel dwelt securely, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, from Dan to Beersheba, throughout all Solomon's days. And Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots and 12,000 horsemen. And those superintendents provided food for King Solomon and for all who came to King Solomon's table, each in his month; they left nothing lacking. And they also brought to the place where it should be, barley and straw for the horses and steeds, each according to his charge. And God gave Solomon wisdom and very much understanding and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom was greater than the wisdom of all the children of the east and all the wisdom of Egypt. For he became wiser than all men, wiser than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman, and Calcol and Darda, the sons of Mahol. And his fame was among all the surrounding nations. And he spoke 3,000 proverbs, and his songs numbered 1,005. And he discoursed about trees, from the cedar that is in Lebanon to the hyssop that shoots forth out of the wall. He also discoursed about animals and about birds and about creeping things and about fish. And they came from all the peoples to hear the wisdom of Solomon, from all the kings of the earth who had heard of his wisdom. 1 Kings Chapter 5. Now Hiram the king of Tyre sent his servants to Solomon when he heard that they had anointed him king in place of his father, for Hiram had always loved David. And Solomon sent word to Hiram, saying, You know about David my father that he was not able to build a house for the name of Jehovah his God because of the warfare that his enemies surrounded him with, until Jehovah put them under the soles of his feet. But now Jehovah my God has given me rest all around, there is no adversary or evil occurrence. And now I intend to build a house for the name of Jehovah my God according to what Jehovah spoke to David my father, saying, Your son, whom I will put on your throne in your place, he will build the house for my name. Now therefore command that they cut for me cedars from Lebanon. And my servants will be with your servants, and I will give you payment for your servants, according to whatever you say, for you know that among us there is no one who knows how to cut timber like the Sidonians. And when Hiram heard Solomon's words, he rejoiced greatly and said, Blessed be Jehovah this day, who has given David a wise son over this great people. And Hiram sent word to Solomon, saying, I have heard the message which you have sent me. I will do all your desire concerning cedar timber and cypress timber. My servants will bring down from Lebanon to the sea, and I will make them into rafts by sea to the place that you direct me, and I will break them apart there, and you can carry off. And you can fulfill my desire by giving food to my household. So Hiram gave Solomon cedar timber and cypress timber, all that he desired. And Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 cores of wheat as food for his household and 20 cores of the finest oil, this did Solomon give to Hiram year by year. And Jehovah gave Solomon wisdom, as he had promised him, and there was peace between Hiram and Solomon, and the two of them made a treaty. And King Solomon levied forced labor out of all Israel, and the forced labor amounted to 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month by courses, 1 month they were in Lebanon, and 2 months they were at home. And Adoniram was over the forced labor. And Solomon had 70,000 burden bearers and 80,000 stonecutters in the mountains. Besides Solomon's 3,300 chief officers over the work, who directed the people who did the work. And the king commanded, and they quarried great stones, costly stones, in order to lay the foundation of the house with hewn stone. And Solomon's builders and Hiram's builders and the Jebuelites fashioned the stone and prepared the timber and the stones in order to build the house.